What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to look at the Hasbro Transformers Kingdom Dinobot. So this is from the Kingdom line. It's going to supposedly be in the show on Netflix, but we know this guy from Beast Wars from back in the day. And they have taken some liberties here, but overall it does look a lot like the original Dinobot. Let's take a quick 360 of this guy. We'll bring him in close. You can see that head sculpt there. I personally really like this head sculpt. I like the look and the paint on it. A lot of people have said this doesn't really look like Dinobot from the show, the original show, which I don't mind because this is intended to be the Netflix series. You got some nice paint detail here on the ribs and then here on the pelvis. And then you got some nice metallic orange on the thighs, more paint detail. I think this is, this might be just plastic color. Got some paint here on the knees. Here's the back, a little bit more of that orange paint. Overall, pretty clean. You have a little bit of a backpack, not too bad. Pretty good for a figure like this. Overall, really nice looking robot mode. You do get one accessory, which is this tail piece. If you open this up, it actually turns into two. So you can use it a couple different ways. You can either use it like this, and each hand has a little peg. You can actually peg whatever you want in there. But you can peg this in there. You can't really close the hand around it, so he's kind of got to use it like that. So you can have this spinning thing, which had this kind of shooting effect coming out of it. Or if you don't like that, you can take this off, and now this can be used as a separate sword. So this has its own tab there. You can take that tab and stick that into the other hand, and now he's got a sword and his spinning blade piece here, and I think that looks good. So nice. I like the inclusion and also the ability to be able to combine those. That's pretty cool. Let's go over his articulation. So his head is on a ball joint, so you get up to there, down to there, and then side to side, and it rotates all the way around. Really nice movement on the head. Just tight enough to make it be able to pose it in any direction you like. The shoulders rotate all the way around on this joint. They lift up here. You can also lift it up here, so you can get it way up there if you need to. You do get a rotation at the bicep right here. You get a single joint elbow, gets you 90 degrees, and it does kind of hide away inside. The claw can rotate here at the wrist, and then each of these are articulated, mostly for the Dino mode, but ends up giving articulation for the robot mode as well, the hand. And like I mentioned earlier, if you do put the weapon in here, you really can't get this closed too far down because it gets in the way, but there you go for that. Your rotation at the waist, really nice, unhindered. No ab crunch on this. Legs go up to there. A little bit hindered back because of this piece here, so you kind of get it out the back. And then up to the side, it goes all the way up to there. You get a nice tight 90-degree bend at the knee. And it is really quite tight. There is a joint here, but you can't really use it in this mode. You have ankle tilt back and forth, and you have ankle pivot this way, all the way up to there, so that's really nice. I find this one is nice and tight. This one's a little bit looser, but you can remedy that by just kind of pushing the heel up, and now it gets a little bit tighter. So I'm not really sure what the issue is, but you can get it posed however you like. Those ankles both have nice movement on them, so you can get them really kind of stable in any position. And for a quick size comparison, there he is next to the Optimus Primal figure from the same line. He's obviously taller. That looks about right to me. He is a bigger character in the show, and this it makes sense. It looks good next to the other Kingdom characters. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into his Dino mode. Go ahead and open up these hands. You can take out these weapons, and these do become part of the Dino mode. It comes with the tail, so that's kind of cool. Go ahead and stick that in there, and then you can see there's two little slots that these are going to tab into. So get that tabbed in, and you can just set this aside for now, and we're going to combine that a little bit later. All right, now we can go ahead and take these arms, just fold these up for now out of the way. That'll give us a little bit of access here to get into here. So you can unpeg this from this tiny little tab right there, and just fold that out and out of the way. Same on this side, you can just unpeg that and fold that out. That's going to free up his chest. So you can unpeg the head from the top here. So that tab is tabbed into the head, and that's going to free up this whole section to fold backwards. You can fold the head down and just leave that like that for now. I'll take care of this back section here. So go ahead and open up this back piece. That's going to free the head up. You can rotate this piece all the way down. Now we're going to take care of these legs. So go ahead and fold the legs down. These are going to rotate to the side. We can close this leg down, and this is going to tab in to that piece. So go ahead and get that tabbed in. It does kind of look like a face on the back of his leg, but that is going to be how his chest looks. So they wanted to make it accurate in the robot mode. All right, same on this side. Go ahead and get this folded downwards. Oh, and again, make sure you have this rotated the other way so it'll all fit in there, and then get this tabbed in. And rotate the paws, obviously, so you have the bigger toes in the front, like that. For now, just leave these upwards. That's going to give you a space to work. We're going to take this head and rotate it to the front, and you're going to have this come all the way around and fit in there over the head, just like that. Fold this down. You can see that's going to make the body. These legs are interesting, so go ahead and open up these panels here. So you should have the calves opened up. Fold these until they won't go any further, so the knee is basically hitting right there. Take the heel spurs, fold it into the feet, and then keep the feet straight. All right, next, go ahead and take the waist and rotate it so you get this to the back. And now we're going to take these legs, and you can see there's a little slot right there on the knee that's going to end up tabbing into here. And then there is a slot here on the top of the shin that's going to go into here. So you're going to got to line all that up. Make sure you have both going in properly. Actually, it's easier to do one at a time. So why don't we do this one first? And let's make sure this all lines up. There we go. And then back here, you're going to take this foot, and that's going to sit right inside there. So make sure you have all three of those tabs in place. And then just press that into there. All right, now we'll do the other side. Go ahead and same thing. Get it, the knee tabbed in. And it can be a little bit tricky, but you can do it and line it up. Get all those panels in, and then make sure you get this one last, and that should peg into there. And these two should just kind of come together. You go ahead and bring the legs down now. They don't go back and forth, so you just got to bring it down and then push these panels together. And go ahead and get the legs kind of situated. Get the arms folded forward. And so you should have this hollow part on the bottom. Rotate the hands around. And it should sit something like this, although you can kind of get it looking a little bit better. And then the final step here is to take the tail, and that's just going to peg into the back here. Let's see, does it go both ways? No, it only goes one way, so you can see it's tabbed there. There's a little slot on the bottom that's going to fit into there, so you can't get it wrong. And here is Dinobot in his Dino mode. And it looks pretty cool. It's like a quick 360. There are some weird things on it, so you do have this stuff up front that looks a little bit weird. It's okay overall, but it's a little strange. These panels don't really stay pegged. I mean, if you push the leg all the way in and you don't move it, even then, sometimes these panels pop out. But it's kind of unnatural because then he's got his legs all the way in. So you want to have those angled out just a tad. And that kind of breaks the sculpt, unfortunately. But that's to be expected of any kind of animal-based or beast mode. It's going to be a lot of things. There are some things back here that are a little bit ugly. But overall, looks pretty good. You do have the tail with the gun in the back. You know, that's Dino mode has always been like that. But you don't have storage, so that's nice. It just looks a little funny. You can open the mouth here. You got some nice detail in there. You got red paint. You got the silver paint for the teeth. They have removed the front, top and bottom front teeth just because for safety. You do get a painted eye there. One eye is a lazy eye for whatever reason. This one's a little bit off compared to this one, but still it looks nice overall. You don't get any side-to-side movement, unfortunately. You can open up the mouth to there. You can rotate the head all the way down to there and up to there. The arms are on a swivel here, and you can rotate all the way around. You can bend at the elbow here, 90 degrees, and then you can bend at this wrist, also 90 degrees. The wrists do look a little funny. In person, they don't look as bad as they did in pictures or in video, but I can say the hands are a little bit on the long side. I wish it was a little bit shorter, or at least put, you know, another joint there so we can kind of pose it. But because it's just one piece, it is a little funny looking. But honestly, in person, it doesn't bother me. This kind of stuff bothers me a little bit more because it shows up. They could have made that brown instead of orange, but they chose to make that orange. And then the legs do articulate in and out here, although if you go far enough, it breaks the sculpt too far. You have a knee bend here, goes back to there basically, and then a tilt at the ankle, up to there, back to there. And then these toes move the same as the hands, so you can kind of get them posed however you like. The tail doesn't move at all. There is Dinobot next to the Primal in his ape mode, or at least in the configuration of the ape mode. And I think it looks good. It's a good looking Dino next to Optimus Primal. It does feel a little bit, I don't know, the proportions are a little odd. But overall, the size, I think, looks nice. And there you have Dinobot back in his robot mode. And final thoughts on this guy. Let's talk about the positive. So I like the weapon. I like that it's painted and you can use it in two different modes. You can either use the sword on its own and then have the spinning piece, or you can put them together for this effect right here, which looks nice. I like the articulation you get overall in the robot mode. And I like the look of the robot mode, especially like the face sculpt. I think it's well done. Although a lot of people say that it doesn't really look as much as the cartoon. I don't really have a context for that because I never really watched the cartoon that much. So to me, it's fine. I think it's painted well. It looks nice. It just may not be very accurate to the cartoon, the original cartoon. Mind you, this is not Beast Wars. This is Kingdom. So it may look different in the Kingdom cartoon, and we'll find that out. For the negatives, I don't really love the Beast mode. The Beast mode has some weird parts, especially the articulation isn't great in the Beast mode. There's also some ugly parts just because, you know, when you try to make a robot into a beast, there's always going to be stuff sticking out, some kibble, and that's no exception on this one. There's a lot of kibble in the Beast mode. But of the two modes, the Beast mode is obviously the weaker. But overall, I do recommend it. I think it's a good figure. I also have a little bit of a loose ankle here. It's slightly loose, but again, you can kind of fix it by just folding that one up, and that kind of tightens it up just a little bit so you can pose them a little bit easier. But overall, I really like it. I think it's a good version of Dinobot. At the $30 price point, I think it's pretty good. You get, you know, pretty good value. You get good weapons, good looking Dinobot mode. Fits in well with the other Beast Wars characters from Kingdom. So I recommend it. Good luck hunting for him. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.